We're here to kick down the doors and go inside of the C-suite of DHL's Vice President of HR Sub-Saharan Africa, Lebo Tseladimitlwa. You moving content and freight from throughout the world, throughout Africa. It's a big deal. Do you feel the pressure?
At times, yes, I do feel the pressure because this is the start and the end of everything. This is a gateway and it's also a hub. Everything that comes from different countries, every shipments or parcels that comes from Africa in different countries and to other continents, they get delivered here, and then the guys here, they sort it out. Upstairs is a bond center where they will hold shipment until the tax duties are paid. And then behind this site is an international center where they will send all the shipment to different countries. And then further down there, we've got domestics where they will send it to coastal, Cape Town and even Johannesburg.
What are some of the things you've sort of learned in being in HR in terms of getting the right type of people?
For me, I've always that believing in HR because I've worked for different industries. I've worked for financial industry, I've worked for pharmaceutical, I've worked for retail, I'm from Nike here, and now I'm in the logistics. So talent management and talent assessment is quite key because you need, as an HR person, you need to come down to operation. You need to spend time with the guys to understand what they are doing, to understand when they say a shipment is stuck at the port center, what are the implications, what does it mean to the customer? And you need to link that to the training. Whatever that we are training, we've got a global training that is called Certified International Specialist. Everyone attends the same training, from a courier, a sorter, myself to the CEO, even in global office. And we run around the same components. We say we want to do it right first time. You need, all employees need to have the right attitude. Speed is important in this industry, and passion. So if you don't have the attitude, if you don't have the passion to be here, you will never survive, and as a result, DHL will never shine.
What are you seeing happening with the confidence of Africans across the continent?
I always say that people from other continents, they need to understand us first if they really want to success. They want to be successful in Africa. Most Africans, respect comes first. And then whereas the other continent, they are focused on results. So in Africa, you need to balance the results and respect together. And it becomes very difficult for people who come from individualistic culture because Africa is more of a collective culture. And what I've seen, there's this say that there's a lack of skills. Africans are educated. In my teams, I've got an HR manager in Cameroon who has 2 master's degrees. And people, they go to schools, they are African, the government in those African countries, they support them, they give bursaries. Then it's for us, for the organization, the employers, to give people an opportunity to learn. And once we've got the learning, the same learning like we do in DHL, and then we give them an opportunity. And you don't box an individual, you let individual flourish. We are unique, we are different, we are in Africa, we speak different languages, we are different. And then you need to encourage or harness or show out the uniqueness so that people can flourish and be themselves. Then they'll be able, that passion will shoot the hit and go up.
I'm sure that people, if they're here for a few years and they've worked closely with the local talent, they end up leaving enriched and almost probably surprised at how smart and how sharp a lot of, most of the sort of Africans are across the continent. Have you seen that where people leave, or have you seen that people don't even want to leave because they're so inspired?
Most of the expats, honestly, at the end of the period, they don't want to leave. It's either they look for an extension or they apply for a general work permit visa. They've fallen so much in love with the country. Africa is beautiful.
Yes.
Africa has a lot of nature, wild animals. We don't have a lot of natural disasters. So honestly, I will say in my career with multinational for more than 15 years, I have seen 80% of expats who didn't want to leave. And remember, when they came in, they were media gave them wrong information. There's too much crime, there's no infrastructure, third world country, everything is so backwards and barbaric. But once they come here, they become the ambassador to other continents and share the message.
Wow. Yeah. Now, what are some of the tools, some of the ideas you have to make sure that you're treated like a professional, not like a woman of color?
I am my own person. I'm very honest with most highly ethical skills. I stand to what I believed in. Even if it means that there's going to be tension in the boardroom, let it be. It's the truth. It's how things are supposed to be.
Sometimes you need
Without
tension.
You need tension sometimes to get your message across. And it happens that at times people they come up with their assumptions or their prejudice, and not knowing the culture of your employees or your colleagues, it always becomes a difficult. Hence, I'm saying that we are unique in our own different way. When you talk to me as an employee, talk to me as a colleague, talk to me as a subordinate, but don't come and address me as an African female already, which means you have already processed your thinking. We have clustered it in that way that if I were to share the same message with Timothy, it will be I'm talking to an American man. But when I speak to Lebo, I'm speaking to a South African female. So first, see me as an individual, as a human being just like you.
And for young women who dream of being a director, if they're in university or have just come out of university, what are some things they should be doing?
It's not a glorious thing to be forever traveling, to be forever leaving your kids with strangers at home, the domestic work, to be home to miss birthdays of your kids. There was a time where I was working for a pharmaceutical company, and the global HR meeting was always held in November. So I missed 4 birthdays of my son.
Wow.
And you get to not have enough time for family, enough time for friends, enough time for yourself. And I will say to young women out there, if you really want to start travel, if you really want to work for a multinational, it's good to do it when you are young, when you start your career. And ideally, if you can, I do know that Monash has a swap where they exchange students. Find a university that you can exchange, go to that country, experience it, because at times it becomes as a culture shock because you have never been outside of your comfort zone. And there have been the greatest learnings around traveling. Then after that, pick your choice, join a multinational company, because those are the companies that they will be able to send you all over.
Well, that was Lebo, very powerful Vice President of Human Resources, changing how we see the C-suite, making a fundamental difference.